Cross Atlantic Gaming is on YouTube. Go give us a sub on YouTube and see what beautiful clips, trips, and anything in between that we come up with. Weekly content is always posted. That's a chocolate guarantee, that is.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 95 of Cross Atlantic Gaming. I'm your host Risky the Kid, and joining me this week as always are my co-hosts Chocolate Bear.
Top of the morning to you.
And Moose.
What's up, guys? Bear, you took it, bro.
I know, I stole it.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Yeah, everybody enjoy the parades and the green beer today, huh?
I don't know if you're allowed to do parades anymore.
No, there's no parades. Actually, we had a parade today.
Did you? Our parade got canceled.
No, Ron, we're going on a fitness walk every morning now. So because
you call that the parade?
I'm the teacher. No, she called it the parade.
Oh.
She said, "Let's do a parade walk." And I was like, "What's that?" She's like, "Everybody walks in a line." Perfect.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So, how many people are on that walk? Just you and her?
And Taylor, or let's see, it was Taylor, Riley, me, and Grandma.
So you guys just walk single file down the sidewalk?
They rode bikes, like it wasn't even really a parade, but
okay.
Things you do to appease your children. You say, "Yep, exactly."
Oh, that's adorable. You love it.
You betcha. It is actually. So, first day of Dad University.
Dadiversary. Yeah.
How's that going?
Dadiversity. There you go.
Dadiversity.
It went well. We did some English, some grammar stuff. We did a little bit of math, and then she did some writing and some creative drawing stuff, and called it a day.
Sounds good.
So it's pretty easy gig for them, that's for sure.
I bet.
Sounds like everybody's trying to figure this whole thing out, and if you're confused about what we're talking about, or maybe you're listening to this a year in the future,
right?
We're currently going through the coronavirus pandemic.
At the beginning of it.
So
yeah,
we're all still here and not a podcast, so that's good news.
Yeah, everybody's still alive. Chocolate's still alive, so that's the one we really got to worry about.
Yeah, he's
right?
the oldest, so we're...
you mothers.
My fingers are crossed for you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Pray for me. Pray for me, people.
Like I said, wear gloves at work, buddy.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. But then they might think it's a different kind of shot. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
So let's turn this thing around and talk about some games, huh?
Yep.
So, no, I was going to say, though, I just wanted to give a shout-out to all the teachers, because they literally had like a day to throw together a week to weeks worth of lessons plan that parents have to follow. And, so far it's been great. There's been great communications, and, everybody's doing what they can. So hang in there. We got this, right?
Yes, sir. Shout out to everybody contributing in any way. There's so many people.
That's right.
Even you just sitting at home, quarantining yourself in your office while you play video games, you're actually helping probably more than you know. So.
That's right. Like Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers.
Yep. Another week in gaming. What have we all been getting into? Let's start with... I'm going to go to Moose. And I want to start with Bloodstained.
Okay.
Ritual of the Night. Where are you playing this, first of all?
I'm playing it on the Xbox. I suggest everybody play it there. It's probably the best place to play it.
Okay, because this is the one that had some issues when it came out on the Switch originally.
Yeah,
so.
And I'm not sure if they fixed everything or not, but it was like game-breaking issues to begin with.
Right, so cool. So you're on Xbox. How's this game treating you?
Dude, I'm at the very beginning stages. It's pretty good. It's a super in-depth RPG platformer. So you have to, excuse me, COVID.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah, I'm already in quarantine. I have been for like the last week, so we're good. But it's super in-depth. You have to level up all your weapons. You can unlock different weapons, different attack types, different gear, different modifiers. It's super in depth, and the boss fights are super hard. So it reminds me a lot of Hollow Knight.
Okay, yeah.
So
very Metroidvania.
Yeah, exactly. And you literally go to like a bench area to save.
Now, is this the one on the ship? Am I right in thinking, or is that the other one?
I don't think it's on a ship, but it could be.
I'll have to Google it now.
Yeah.
I would say I'm trying to think of what you're talking about, and I can't think of it. So yeah.
No,
give me a quick
actually,
Google.
the first boss fight is on a ship, Bear.
Oh,
Is that what you're talking about?
he's not
Yeah,
sure. He's
sorry,
fine.
I was
Okay.
I was
He's
muting
deep
as
in
I was
Google
typing
land.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have windows open here trying to air out my house, just, get new germs in, bad germs out. So I think somebody's doing some work. So I apologize for the saw or whatever that noise is in the background.
You're good. It's pretty quiet.
Okay. But where was I, Bear?
Oh, we were
On
just
a
talking about
ship,
the first
right?
boss on the ship. Yeah, this is. I've
Yes.
played this. This game
So-
is great.
Yes, it's a giant, like, what is that guy? Kraken. And you basically have to, time all of the different attacks. And he goes through like 3 or 4 different phases of attacks that you just have to, do different moves. And once you've got it down, you can beat him. But I have not gotten it down yet. So, like I said, I'm in the very early stages of this game, just at the first boss fight.
Yeah, I found that I had to keep going back and forth because sometimes, as you were going through the cabins, I'll describe them. They literally kind of just take you to a dead end, so you have to go back.
Yeah.
Kind of 3 rooms down one or up one, and it is a mind maze while playing that game.
But I always want to expose all the black areas too, because you never know when that treasure box with that,
Oh,
next level breaking gear is. So I
yeah,
always want to
definitely.
search every corner.
Especially with that kind of RPG element to it, you have to. You
Right.
don't have to, but that kind of itch of I need to find every nook and cranny of this area, and I need to find my next exotic weapon or my upgrade.
Yep. So there's another podcast that I listen to that's kind of doing something similar to we did with Game Pass Roulette, and I just figured I'd download it and play along and listen as they talk about it. So, but so far it's hard as crap, and I need, it's kind of like what was the game we played last year, Risky, with the ninja?
The Messenger?
Yes, it's kind of like that. Once you get all the movements down and the timing and stuff, it becomes a lot easier, but it's not an easy game by any sort.
Yeah, that even saying that kind of stuff just reminds me more of Hollow Knight, where some of those boss fights, until you've
Right.
done them a few times, are brutal in the beginning, but then
Yeah.
when you finally beat them, it takes you a whopping minute or so,
But,
45 seconds, but you just need to learn the encounter first.
The nice thing is there's a save point like right before every boss, so you don't have like a 15-minute trek back through all this crap to get to the boss like you did in Hollow Knight.
Yeah, there was a few there that did not have
Right.
optimal save
Yeah.
locations.
I think I'm at like the 3rd or 4th boss fight in Hollow Knight, and it's like a 15 or 20-minute trek from where my save point is, and
Oh.
I just haven't turned it back on. Just
That's
like
what
Griff
I'm
with not
wondering.
going.
I feel like there's got to be a bench somewhere probably, because I feel like none of mine were that bad. So if you find like a map for
Yeah, I
that
just didn't
location,
find
there,
it.
yeah, there might
Exactly.
be a closer save, because that's obnoxious. And like there's nothing worse than getting beaten down by a boss, but then when you come back and then you have to travel for 10 plus minutes to just give it another shot and then potentially lose again, like ugh,
Yeah.
that'll
Yeah.
beat you down real quick.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
understandable.
it's a fun game. I think I'm going to continue on with it, but it's a challenge. So just be ready for that.
Good deal. And like Moose said, this is in Game Pass, so anyone can go check it out. So if you're looking for a Metroidvania, this sounds like
Yeah,
a
it's-
decent one.
It's one of the better ones that they've made in the last few years, I'd say.
Awesome. All right. Next up, we'll go over to Chocolate. You're playing La Mulana. What is this?
This is another puzzle platformer with esoteric puzzles in it. And yes, you're probably looking at me going, what does that
Yeah.
mean?
What's an esoteric puzzles?
Yeah, I had no idea. I had to Google it. And Google just came up with, in layman's term, hard as ball puzzles. That's what I took from it anyway.
Okay.
Sounds right.
Yeah, definitely. This is, I can only describe it as like the old school kind of late 80s, early 90s Indiana Jones style platformer where the controls are unbelievably horrible. As you jump and try and turn, it just doesn't. It's not as smooth as Ori, for instance, is my comparison. It plays dreadfully. However, looking at the backgrounds, you're a archaeologist that's going through a tomb, and the background and backdrops are really nice. It's an 8-bit platformer. Looks so good, but just the controls have made me want to vomit and chop my hands off. It's awful.
Glowing endorsement, as always.
Yeah, so I mean, if you really like that kind of hard, as I said, early 90s style platformer, this is the game. It reminds me, I'm trying to think of a really bad platformer. A very
I got
poor,
one for you. What's that one that I bought on the Switch?
Gunman Clive.
No, well, yeah, that one's pretty terrible. No, that one that looked good, but then we played it. It like had different characters. It
Monster
was like
Boy or
cartoon
Wonder
drawing.
Boy?
Yes,
or...
Wonder Boy or Monster Boy. Just terrible gameplay.
Yeah, the controls are not tight at all, and I think if they managed to tighten the controls, this game wouldn't be too bad, and you could push it as one of those hardcore style platformers that you have to nail just perfectly. Even harder than The Messenger.
There's something so different between a game that's difficult because it's well made and a game that's difficult because it's poorly made. Like, they're two very different types of difficulty.
Yeah.
And the one you're talking about, not great.
No, and it's not. It was originally made for the Windows PC, funny enough, and it got ported over time upon time upon time, and it just seems they've literally ported it and left the controls as they were via keyboard, which is quite sad. Because the game is quite nice.
You and esoteric don't belong in the same sentence, buddy.
We don't. I actually sounded quite intelligent, didn't I? As I batted that esoteric.
Esoteric is intended or likely to be understood by a small number of people with specialized knowledge or interest.
That's what I said. Hard as balls.
Exactly. Yeah. Only for the pros.
Described in layman's terms. That was perfect.
I can. As you're going through the level, you have to unlock these treasure chests. However, the treasure chest is linked to potentially a something on the ground that you'd have to put like a sand on, so it would always kind of keep the. Oh my God, words aren't today. The box opens, for instance, or you would have to go back 3 or 4 levels or rooms to hit the bad guy to drop something else on another loose platform and then do something else. It's just unbelievably hard and very frustrating. I think I played a couple of hours of this and it felt like I didn't get far at all.
I'm waiting for one of these weird obscure games I've never heard of to have like a glowing endorsement and be like a hidden
For me
gem.
to go,
other than the one where their heads popped off or whatever, that one he liked that.
oh,
one.
the Headlanders. That was a good game. Well, funny enough, I do have. There is another game that I'm currently playing, but I need to get more in depth for it. So next week I will have a very strange game for you, and get ready for that. That'll be good.
Cool. It'll be nice on one of these weeks when I see the name of a game that I've never seen before, if it turns out to be something that I might want to try.
Yeah, definitely.
Or we just changed the name of the segment to "What Did Chocolate Hate This Week?"
What?
Funny, yeah. The moaning corner.
Perfect.
Let me go off on a tirade.
Don't play these terrible games. I already have for you.
It's a little long-winded, but I think we can make it work. Yeah.
We could abbreviate it or something. Come up with an acronym.
Great.
But this is definitely, if you're into that hardcore kind of platformer, this is for you.
But hardcore as in
And puzzles, right?
Hard, puzzles
doesn't play well either.
Yeah, that's I suppose just an offshoot of it and doesn't play well. But
yeah, so you can pick it up for free, or you find a code somewhere. This might be for you.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about something that maybe is a little more enjoyable for some people. I hopped into the new season of Destiny, which came out this Tuesday. This is bringing back the Trials of Osiris. And if you're not familiar with Trials of Osiris, this is a hardcore Destiny 2 PvP mode or Destiny 1 mode back in the day that is essentially 3v3, 1 life, and you have revives, so your friends can revive you. But once all 3 of you go down, you're done. You lose the round. First 1 to 5 wins. Sounds simple enough, but if you want the best gear and you want to essentially reach like the pinnacle of this PvP, you have to get 7 wins in a row. But how you're match made is that no matter where you are on your card, say you have 5 wins in a row without losing, it's going to match you with somebody else who has 5 wins and they're currently going for their 6th. And then it comes down to like location or connection based matchmaking, which is good because a lot of the game isn't. A lot of it's skill based matchmaking, which makes it so a lot of times the connections are rough. So there's that. So yeah, it's just a hardcore 3v3 mode that's finally back. It gives PvP players in Destiny, which don't get shown a ton of love, I don't think, not compared to the PvE side, like with them getting raids, and the seasonal stuff is usually more catered to you shooting at bad guys rather than shooting at other Guardians or other players. So yeah, this new season brought that back. You can hop into that Friday to reset. So it starts Friday night at reset, which is at like 1 now, I think. And it'll go till Tuesday at 1 as well. And then you have a long weekend to try to get 7 wins in a row to get the best gear. You also will have like checkpoints, I guess, at 3 and 5, or not checkpoints. You kind of just get rewarded at those win numbers. So at 3 you'll get a piece of gear, and at 5 you'll get a piece of gear. But I hopped into that this weekend and I got stomped. Like it wasn't even close. I don't know if it just brought out like the best players in Destiny for whatever reason, but even when I was supposed to be matching against kids who only had like a win or two, those could obviously be people that have already played one card and now they're coming back to play some more, or might have lost on their like 6th or 7th.
Told you to watch out for Ron's Dragon, dude.
Yeah, Ron's Dragon was out there, and he put me down a time or two.
These are people I met on the subreddit before I knew what Discord was.
Good old Ron's Dragon. Yeah, so the competition was stiff, and
how many did you rack up in a row?
I think we got to 5,
Nice.
and then we fell apart.
That's impressive, though. 5 in a row.
Yeah, well, so one thing is that when you start a new like card or whatever, you get to pick a certain buff.
Okay.
They have a different, I think they're called passages, or no, that's
Right.
I don't know, whatever they're called. You can choose one that is your first loss will be forgiven. So if you were at like 4 in a row and you lost a game, it wouldn't like end your streak.
Okay.
So we had that enabled. So we lost 1 in there somewhere, but
I
then
see.
yeah, we got 5, and then just got wrecked. When I
Is
say
there-
wrecked, like there's 5 rounds, and we would get like 5-0 before
Oh, damn.
we could even blink. Yeah. And it's so another cool thing about it is well, I guess depending on how you look at it, is it's played on the same map all weekend. So it's one
Right.
map, which gives people ample time to get their strategies down, figure out where you're going to push, when you're going to push, what weapons to use. And they show you the other team's loadouts as you're loading into the game, which is kind of cool. So you know what kind of weapons you're going up against. If you see 3 snipers, you kind of know not to peek down long hauls. Or if you see a bunch of people with shotguns, you know that they're not going to waste any time waiting for you to try to snipe them.
Yeah,
they're
they're just
going to be
gonna rush
on
you.
you. And
Yeah.
that's really the 2 type of teams that we came up against for most of the weekend. Was just either they're called like shotgun apes, like people who just ape out and just come flying at you with shotguns, or just snipers who are camping hallways. So
Right.
How does that do for your...
What does your group fall into? The snipe?
yeah, so I think most of us, I know like Shopa and I run at least a sniper.
Yeah.
And auto rifles got a big buff on Tuesday. So
Oh, really?
This gun called the Hard Light is an exotic auto rifle that a ton of people are also using as like their secondary. So that's what I rolled with for most of it.
Okay.
So we would usually, if it's snipers, we'll play snipes with them, and then that usually goes until one person gets knocked, and then you kind of know to
Right.
push. So
Yeah.
if you got a 3v2, you might as well push forward and try to take out the rest before they can get a
Before they
revive.
Take one of you guys out, or res somebody.
Right. So
Is
it's,
there? Go ahead.
It's just a lot of back and forth when you play that type of team. Or then, I mean, I feel like we have the worst time when we have the super aggressive players because they're super confident. I feel like because if you
in your face, and
and in your face, and if you don't have a shotgun really in return, it's tough to put them down if they're closing the gap quickly with you.
Right.
So
all you can do is hold the trigger down and hope that your bullets hit them first.
Yeah, exactly. Or hope that your team's focusing on the same one, and then maybe you have a shot at the next guy that comes. Or yeah, it's tough.
So what's going on with the rest of the new season? Is there any PvE content or any fun stuff for Moose?
So there's if you're familiar with Destiny at all, there's this thing called Rasputin, the War Mind. He's
didn't they just solve it or something?
He's a big supercomputer.
It's like a 2-year puzzle they just figured out.
They figured out the right way to do the puzzle or something, but I think they solved it a couple years ago, or something like that. I don't know. I don't keep up with a lot of that stuff, especially if it's older, because I was off of Destiny for a bit. But yeah, I'd read stuff about that.
I just read headlines, so
fair enough. As far as the PvE section, everybody got a bump in light level. Well, not a bump. The cap got bumped up to what is 1,010 now. So
dang.
I think it ended at 960 or 970 last season. So you got 40 levels to grind out, which is nice because powerful
it
gear,
works
which
again.
It actually matters.
Yes.
Like you're doing content that you haven't done in a while because it will actually drop you stuff that's going to make you better.
Yeah, see, that's why I stopped enjoying it when I had to do pinnacle crap and had to coordinate with people.
Right.
No,
so
I just want to play it by myself and get my light level up. So then when we raid, I'm not such a noob.
Right. We didn't get a raid or anything, which is kind of unfortunate. But I think a lot of people
figured
that was going to happen. If it's going to happen, it'll probably be in the fall for their big expansion. It was Shadowkeep last year.
Right.
So their Shadowkeep thing, whatever it's going to be this year.
Usually every October they drop something.
Right. So that'll probably have a raid. But I know when Destiny 2 started and they had a bunch of support from other studios, it was every season came out and they would add a raid lair, which was essentially just a new raid. Maybe not as big as some of the older ones, but they'd have something like that. Now it's kind of smaller events that are going on. The one right now for Rasputin, the Warmind that I was talking about, what you're trying to do is get him back up to full power, and then he has weapons and different perks to get materials and weapons, and then other ways to do the public event, which is the main thing you're doing this season. There's things that as you level up your base, I will say, it makes it easier to do said event. The event you're doing is there's these. It's okay. This is gonna be kind of tough to explain. So there's a tower in the center. So picture a square. You have a tower in the center, and then you have four towers in different corners of the square that are gonna light up. So when one lights up, you have to defend the pad that it's on. And then depending on how many people get into your square, that's going to decide how many orbs drop out. And what you're doing with these orbs is you're essentially throwing them up at another floating orb and trying to push that towards the center of the original spot. Super confusing to try to explain unless you're there, but it's a decent little public event that is very tough when you don't have a full team or randoms even. I think I had 3 people a few times, and it made it super difficult compared to when we had 6 people. But it's also a higher light level activity, so kind of makes sense because everybody's a little low level at this point in time. But it's not as bad as some of the other things I think we've had these past couple seasons. It kind of just falls in line with it. They've all just been smaller and more lackluster, I think.
Right.
Is a good word, since they lost support from Activision and the studios that Activision had supplied them with. So it's more Destiny. I think the big thing here, it's definitely a PvP season is what it feels like.
Gotcha.
Trials is huge, and even though we didn't do well, I was still having fun. this first weekend was awesome. But you were also running into people who had spent the whole week grinding, and power level matters here. So
Right.
if I'm out leveled by 30, I might get killed just enough, like a couple extra bullets from me. It's going to take me a couple extra bullets to kill them, essentially. And that with TTKs being time to kills being under a second to begin with, kind of makes a big difference. So I'm hoping next week goes a little bit better, and eventually we get flawless, and then I can.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there a lighthouse?
Yeah, so you do get taken somewhere if you get the 7 wins. I kind of spoiled that for myself just watching YouTube.
Just looking. Yeah, I have to look at YouTube because there's no way I ever get there unless people carry me.
Yeah, I don't even know if you can carry people. Or me and Chopa can't at this point. I don't think, because I think we ran with a couple different people this weekend, and it was just
same results.
It's tough. People are good. I feel like I'm just getting worse at games or something, or just everybody was
age, dude.
Everybody was bringing it this week.
Reaction time slow down. Your eyes slow down.
Yeah.
That's Chocolate. That's why he's so bad.
I don't want to get older.
It's the circle of life.
Yeah, true. It's not gonna get bad at games eventually. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty typical Destiny season minus the trials, which I think is actually huge for a lot of people. But if you're not interested in PvP, this is just gonna kind of be I don't know. Yeah,
it's kind of what it feels like to me.
Yeah, you're gonna be doing the same stuff you were doing last season for the most part. You're gonna go through your powerful grind in a couple weeks. And then you're going to be back to grinding the same stuff for your pinnacle, your like top tier rewards. Except for now you have an added source from trials, and part of the public event. There's a way that you can earn legendary lost sectors or something. There is a way to get
like
pinnacles.
The bounty type stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems like bounties again are going to be your quickest way to get XP and level up and get your artifact level up.
Gotcha.
And if a lot of this sounds foreign, it's because there's way too many systems and little things in Destiny.
Right.
So, yeah. I'm enjoying it though. I'm most excited about Trials. I'll be there every weekend, just giving it a shot. But
until you get flawless, and then you'll be done, or
no, I don't think so. I think
going.
Yeah, because you actually have to go flawless if you want to get the pinnacle reward for that week.
I see.
So it's kind of important.
Every week. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, if you want that, there's still so many other sources, like running the dungeon, doing nightmare hunts, plenty of other ways to do it if you want to forego any type of PvP, which I know even some of the people I talk to just aren't huge fans of the PvP, and that's totally understandable. So it's not going to help them out a ton, but I've always had fun with the competitive end of Destiny, and I don't see that changing. So
yeah, I don't mind the PvP portion of it. I'm just not good enough to play at the top tiers of competitive. So
yeah, and depending on who you matchmake with, it gets
just get worked.
It gets rough.
Exactly.
That's the thing. I just felt like we should have ran into a lot more fair fights, or even like close fights this weekend. But a lot of them, we would start the cards, and it wasn't in the cards once we started them. So better luck next weekend.
Sounds like I'm ready for Destiny 3.
Yeah, I think this big expansion that'll come out towards the end of the year will be pretty make or break for them. Like, it needs to be one of their revolutionary, like, Taken King ones, or
it's got to have something new. I'm
Forsaken.
done with these assets at this point, these locations, and
there is one cool thing that's so the Warmind, when you're doing the public event thing, if you have enough perks in your like bunker area, you can he'll send out this giant like mechanical, it kind of just reminds me of like a dog, and he has like lasers on him, and he'll help fight the bad guys. So it's actually like an NPC that you can summon to try to help with the public event, which is kind of cool. And we haven't seen those like those character models. They look very Rasputin-y, like triangles and red glowing stuff. So
gotcha.
That's kind of neat. But overall, I'm just kind of on the fence. If Trials wasn't there, I would be a lot more down on it, I think.
Sure.
Because
it's battle pass, right?
Yep. And I think I'm like 17 already. I had a ton of bounties saved up going into the season, so I kind of just popped them all once the season started, and that got me up to like 8 or 9 right off the bat. And then the little bit I've played, there's that. So
Cool.
yeah, another 100 tier battle pass if you're into that. I think it's like a 3-month season or 2-month season or something, so plenty of time to get in on it. If you are into PvP or were into trials way back when, it feels super similar. They didn't really change a lot, which is great. So if you like trials back in the day, maybe get into it. If you're there for the PvE stuff, check it out. But
is this included with whatever it is, New Light or?
I think certain aspects of
Like
it
trials?
are like the public event stuff. Yeah, trials you can get into.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know what is
Locked
new
behind,
here
I guess, the
because-
battle pass.
Well, yeah, the battle pass, but like the public event thing, like the main PvE event is definitely for everyone because that's just out in the open spaces, and then trials is just the PvP mode. So those are
Right.
definitely. I'm not sure what the big selling point is for the $10
Right. It's got it's just a
purchase
battle pass at this point.
besides the pass, right? I'm not sure there's a ton more that you're getting. They put out a huge roadmap though, and there's definitely places that have it laid out as far
Gotcha.
as what you're paying for. So yeah, new season of Destiny. It's always exciting, especially when you have to grind up like levels and levels like that.
Right.
Having that power grind back and knowing I have to go up 50 levels is exciting because for the past 3 months it's been
Like
slowly
two a week,
creeping up.
right?
Yeah,
2 or
like
3
one
points a
or
week.
yes, exactly. And knowing that you can actually like chunk some of this one is kind of cool. So
Yeah, sweet.
that's Destiny. Speaking of looter shooters, though, how's Warlords in New York? We'll talk about some Division 2.
Keener is dead.
Keener.
What?
Yes.
He's not. Is that a spoiler?
No, everybody knew it was Keener.
Okay. Well, and now you
I
know.
only know when you told me.
Well, if you watched the trailer, then you did.
Yeah, he's the main guy they showed right at the end, right, of the
Yeah, he's
trailer,
yeah.
and he was in Destiny 1, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
he was one of the first rogue
In Division
agents.
1.
And Division.
Yep, that one. Sorry, we switched games to start with D and R looter shooters.
I believe from the research that I did, he was like one of the first agents to de facto and go rogue, and kind of start his own following, and started the bad guys of the cleaners. I think
And those are the flamethrower boys.
flamethrower boys, the giant guys with sledgehammers, all those
Yes.
guys.
The best bad guys.
The ones that take
worst.
all your bullets.
Yep.
So
Magazine
it's
and a half.
great level design. Again, great content. I think it's well worth $30. And now me and Ben are working on the first manhunt or whatever it is for. I want to say it's Neptune is our first target. So you have to do a series of control points, and then you've got to do a series of bounties in different areas, and then you've got to do main missions in all those areas. So there's like 9 or 10 different things you got to check off, and then it'll basically call this person out, and then you have a big epic battle to take him down. And I think there's 4 or 5 of them in this season, so it's pretty cool stuff.
Do you get a new special weapon, did I see? Or is that have they added another special weapon? So there was the crossbow, the grenade launcher, the sniper rifle,
A chain gun.
chain gun.
I'm using a flamethrower right now.
So yeah, that might be part of the new stuff then.
It might be the new one, but it just melts people. Like when the yellow guys come out, I get out the flamethrower and just roast marshmallows.
I think when I stopped playing, you had it was a sniper, a crossbow, and a grenade launcher or something.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that was the back half of season 2.
And then they opened up with a chain gun, and then I don't know, dude. I'm a terrible Division player. So I just
that
play
game.
with Ben and matchmake, and people basically open up all the secrets and use their keys to unlock boxes for me, and so it's fun.
So it's a nice community willing to lend a hand.
It is. Just don't go in the dark zone. It's not a nice community in there.
I don't think it's supposed to be.
No.
I think the game was literally designed to be mean
it's
in there.
Made to bring the asshole out of you for sure. You spend
I
enough
love
time in there, you're going rogue.
Yep. And then you're going to get killed by moose. Just
No.
like Keener.
Moose don't mess with the dark zone.
Have you not really touched that at all since it came out?
No, not Division 2 Dark Zone. I think I
No?
played the intro of it that it was required to get through the main campaign.
Yeah, right.
But
That's
other than
weird.
that, I haven't messed with it at all.
That's the thing. It was just like it used to be my favorite thing, and then I didn't even touch it in Division 2. So
Yeah. I don't know. I like basically like COD and the Battle Royales for my PvP stuff. So,
yeah, I mean that I'm obviously right there with you.
yeah, because I just every time I've tried to go in the Dark Zone, like I don't pay attention to my builds enough for any of that stuff. You know what I mean? So I go in there and I'm just underpowered, underbuilt, and I just get shredded. So
And it seems like if you don't start going in the dark zone from day one, you're a fly to these guys, aren't you?
but it's nice now because they have like baby Dark Zone and then medium Dark Zone and then like real men Dark Zone.
It is
But they had
cool.
that at the beginning.
Yeah, they still do.
Oh, I need to get into it then. I need to go and try.
Right. Maybe
I
we'll
always
squad
got-
up with
Yeah,
Chester and Kate.
Definitely. Well, you can definitely carry me. You can bring some of that good vibe carry.
To send my kids out for some recreational time and throw the
For
division
some
on.
parade walking.
Yeah, go do a parade walk.
Go do a parade walk. Love it.
I'm gonna put them in all green tomorrow and send them out for the St. Patty's Day parade.
There you go. I think it's perfect.
Right?
The St. Patty's Day
Doing a
parade.
community
all
service.
5 of us.
Yeah, I'll put it up in my my neighborhood app. Around 10 o'clock tomorrow, we're doing a St. Patty's Day parade, so look out your windows.
There you go.
I want to see pictures.
It's not
Love it.
happening, dude. I'll forget about this in about 14 minutes.
All right. Before we move on to the last game that I want to talk about, because we've all played a little bit of it, do you want to give us an update on? You're still grinding away at the Pokemans. Did you get
Yes.
another badge?
I got another badge.
He's slowly moving, slowly but surely.
You betcha. I got the rock badge, I believe.
Okay.
And then I found out. Oh no, I'm sorry. I got the water badge, and so that was super easy because I have a grass main, and my Garuki, which is now a Thwackey, he just destroys everything. So, but now my next master that I have to get to is fire, and apparently fire burns grass. So I am.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm currently going out to try to find water Pokemon and whatever else beats.
I would say, do they have like ice? I feel
Yeah,
like
I think
ice was
so.
a thing at one point.
Yeah, there's like a handful of them that beat fire, so I'm just going to go get a completely new squad and level them up, which it doesn't sound like a lot of fun to me right now, so I've kind of set it down for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why I liked Eevee, because she like literally could just do anything.
she's just a cheater Pokemon. She's
Exactly.
the easy mode of Pokemon Let's Go or whatever.
No doubt, dude. Like she could take on any type of attack, so you just have like an arsenal of high-powered attacks on every different, 5 different types of, or 4 different types of things, and she could pretty much destroy everybody.
Right, and she was the starter, so she's definitely going to be the
Yeah.
highest leveled character by a mile.
Exactly.
So,
So I'm using the Google and some guides and stuff to figure out how to level up Pokemon and look into where I got to go find me whatever that starfish Pokemon is.
Staryu and Starmie.
No.
Yeah, those are 2 star Pokemon that are water based. So
Yeah, but what's the one that everybody knows?
Staryu.
Is it?
It was
What
Misty's
turns into the
Pokemon.
dragon one?
Dragonite?
Pikachu.
No, the water dragon.
Damn it.
What one? And it looks like a star.
Lapras. Gyarados.
I don't know. Yeah, Gyarados. What is Gyarados before he's
A
Gyarados?
Magikarp.
Magikarp. That's the one.
The stupid floppy
Yeah,
fish that
I
doesn't
gotta
do
go
anything.
find me a Magikarp.
Oh, God, I love it.
I know. It's such a dumb game, but I'm still playing it.
It's cool because back in the day when Pokemon Go came out and we were all exercising more than normal, used to walk down by a creek near my house that was just full of Magikarps because I was trying to catch enough of them so I could finally evolve them into a Gyarados. So I lived that in real life, dude. I understand the grind.
You were such a nerd.
Yeah, moving on.
So, yeah,
All right.
that's Pokemans.
You thought that's nerdy. We're about to get crazy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, folks. Call of
It's
Duty
here.
Warzone. It's finally here.
Yes, sir.
The best kept secret on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? We haven't known about this for the last 8 months.
if I could use some expletives. Yeah, hardly. Yeah, so this thing finally dropped. I mean, we knew it was coming. They put out a trailer, and then the streaming community or content creators, as you will, started releasing videos, and then it was here on Tuesday. And I think I'm at this point, I'm over the 24-hour mark. After yesterday, I'm probably close to 30 hours in this one.
I'm extremely proud of you. I'd figure you'd be at about 100 at this point.
Right? It's been something.
But Xbox Live probably had something to do with that a little bit yesterday, right?
Xbox Live has been
What the
wonky
hell,
these
dude?
last few days. Holy cow. When we
I
need
think
you
it's-
most, Microsoft.
Well, I was reading on another Discord server. It could be like those DDoS hackers.
Yeah, the
'cause-
DDoSing.
Yeah, because the PlayStation Network was down at one point. Steam was down at one point. Like, it's something.
Do something more fun with your life. Go play some of the video game
Go-
instead of trying to ruin the fun for everyone else, you jerks.
Go on a parade walk.
Go on a parade walk right off a cliff.
I was going to say some of the Microsoft Office tools went down, didn't over here in the UK.
As
It
well?
was in,
Yeah.
Did they? Wow.
Yeah.
Somebody's just.
so I don't
bored.
know whether the servers have been hammered by possibly 1 million odd people saying, "Do you know what? Today I'm going to work from home."
But that's
true.
it. I was
But-
also having like varying issues from just straight up not being able to do anything to getting into parties where only I could hear certain people and certain people could hear me, and then other people in the
Right.
party couldn't hear specific people. It was some of the weirdest
Wow.
stuff, and I was like, why don't we have a secondary option? I guess like
Discord
to chat
through
with people.
Xbox?
Right, like a
Yeah.
Discord app inside of Xbox or
Yeah.
just anything. Because like when you're on PC, it's super easy. You've got literally any option you would want where you can talk to somebody. You can have your game audio mixed right into that because it's all coming from the same source. And well, that's not really a thing here. So that was kind of one of those times where I was like, why don't we have just for when this happens and parties go down for whatever dumb reason, why don't we have some type of secondary app on the Xbox for voice?
But if
So-
you have the Arctix 9X, you do have that option.
Yeah, right. And
You just go to Discord on your phone, and it automatically links it Bluetooth to your headset.
No way.
I wish
bro.
that was a thing. Yes. Yeah, Chocolate. You can play your music through your phone.
Yeah,
like,
you can play your podcast while you're listening. You can have a phone conversation and still be in party. They
because you
just
can
can't
have two
hear
Bluetooth
you.
channels.
Yeah,
It's
they just can't hear you while you're talking on your
You
phone.
bought
but you
these
can
100
still hear everybody else. Yeah,
$200
they're $200, dude. They
$200
better do
headphones, you don't even know how
something.
to use them.
Jesus, bro.
Sorry, we're
I've
freaking
got
out
no
on
idea.
you.
Chocolate.
I've got no
The
idea.
internet is your friend. Go check out the different features they have.
Yeah, but the spelling is not.
Oh, Jesus.
True. All right. Well,
Right.
yeah. So that was a bummer. Anyways, when we were actually playing Warzone, though, this is your. I was gonna say standard battle royale, but this kind of feels
This is like the mecca of battle royale.
right. If you want to just throw every weird idea at the wall and just kind of see what sticks, this is here. The first thing, and I'll get it off my chest first because it's my biggest complaint, is the number is 3. You're playing trios.
Yeah.
I don't like it in Apex. I never have. 4 is the magic number, right? Like a squad should be 4. And then if it's not
You
going to
have too many friends.
well,
That's also a problem, yes.
that is also a problem. But give me 4s. Give me an option for
Yeah.
3s, 2s, 1s. They had 6 million people playing that game in the first 24 hours.
Yeah, 15 million in a weekend.
In 15 million in a weekend, you're not gonna be segregating or like sectioning off certain. You know what I'm trying to say? There's enough
Yeah.
people playing that you could have 4s,
You're not
3s,
gonna
2s, and
separate
1s.
your player base by
Right.
having all these different options.
Correct. So that was kind of a bummer right off the bat. If you do want to play solo, you can queue solo. You can choose to not fill your squad, so you're dropping by yourself. You're not depending on anyone. No one else is depending on you. But the rest of the lobby is still 3s. Like
Yeah,
every
you're
team you
gonna
run
get
into is still going to
punished.
be 3 people.
Yep.
So that's not great. And that is the biggest thing for me so far. So when you drop, it's pretty standard. There's a giant map. There's lots of locations. One cool thing they do is they put the names like slightly elevated while you're looking over the
Right.
map.
Oh yeah, the big towns, don't they? They have the names there, which looks really good.
Yeah, so you can
Really
kind of,
nice.
It's
if you're not
helpful.
looking at the map, you can see the names while you're flying, and like actually in the plane, which is sweet.
Chocolate, how you like the dropping?
I'm not good, but
Yeah, this one you straight drop like a rock unless you know what you're doing.
yeah, precisely. But I do like the fact that you can cut your parachute,
Yeah.
which gives you a kind of an emphasis of giving a kind of. I'm doing the hand movement, but I
A
can't think of the
forward
word.
like push, like
Yeah, a little
momentum
forward push, a little a little flick,
It's
so
kind
you're
of like
able to
Fortnite
kind
did
of
when you could kind of spam
Oh,
your
with the-
open and close button and it gets
yeah.
you across the map.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I do like the fact, I can't remember if Apex does this at the moment, but I like the fact that if you wait halfway through your jump, the circle will appear, so you can almost immediately be in the first circle straight away if you hold your nerve.
Yeah, the circle shows up early, which is good because there's been matches where it'll start like in a corner and literally 75% of the map is already going to be out in the
Right.
first
Yeah.
circle.
Exactly.
So it's nice that you can kind of gun for a better position, or you can start in the outskirts where you know a lot of people aren't going to drop, and then just make sure you're near like a helicopter or something.
Yeah.
That's one thing with how big the map is. There are a bunch of different vehicles, from like ATVs, helicopters, just giant trucks that everybody can climb into the back of.
Yeah.
And the Zuzu Trooper.
Yep. So there's a bunch of different options there for traversal, which is good because the map is huge, and it's all, according to them, it's all handcrafted. Everything was built from the ground up, being like individual buildings. So even if you see locations that maybe you've played in a multiplayer map, they're not going to be exactly how they used to be, which is neat, I guess. And the whole map feels pretty unique, and it feels super dense. I want to say you're never running into an area that doesn't have
Stuff
a
on
building
it.
or
Right.
something to loot.
Yeah. It feels very with all these kind of, because it's multiplayer. Some of them are multiplayer maps tacked onto this map, but it doesn't feel as if you're going through the map and thinking, "Oh, that shouldn't be there." It kind of it's all.
It all fits well
say red-
together.
Yeah, it fits
Yeah.
well. It seems like they've kind of
Like it feels like it could be a real place.
yeah.
I guess.
It's or it's not. You walk into you go into an area, you're like, well, this is well out of place. How is this?
Like
I've
they
gone
just
from a
cut it
forest
out,
into a
yeah.
snow mountain. Yeah, something really stupid like that. It's really well done.
Yeah. So then, obviously, you're going to drop, and then you have these things called contracts, which is super unique,
Yeah.
as far as I can tell, compared to any other battle royale. Where you have three different kinds. There's a recon contract, where if you pick it up, it's going to send you to a certain location, and then you're going to sit on a spot, like defend a
Like a
position
little
for long
satellite
enough.
dish, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then when it's done, it's giving you some intel as to where the next circle is going to be.
Right.
So the weird thing
If you
here,
do what, 4 or 5 of them, basically
Yeah.
shows you exactly where you end up.
yep, you can literally do enough of these recon contracts that it'll show you where the very final circle is.
And they pay well.
And yeah, that's the thing. As you're picking up contracts, you get a multiplier. So every time you get a multiplier, it's going to make the cash you're getting even more. And I
Right.
hadn't even talked about cash yet.
Yeah.
Cash is a whole nother thing I'll get to in a second. But so that's the first type of contract. You have the recon ones. It's going to make it, you're going to have some more map awareness or circle awareness, I guess, and be able to figure out exactly where the final circle is going to fall. Super powerful. Another one is it's
Bounty.
supply or loot
okay.
or something.
Yeah, that's the magnifying glass one, right?
Yep, and
And
that
you're looking
you're
for
just,
supply crates.
yep, and when you hit each crate, you're gonna get some money, you're gonna get some weapons, whatever materials, and there's gonna be 3 of them. Once you collect them all, the contract's complete. You're gonna get your cash, your XP. Pretty simple and straightforward. The third one is a bounty. So what this does is it picks somebody who's not too far away from you and hopefully not too close to you, but
Yeah.
it's gonna show them in a general way of like where they are on the map. So
They just give
it'll-
you like a yellow circle that is probably like a 1 block radius or so.
Yeah, so if you want, you can pursue the target, and if you kill them, you're going to get money for it. It's a good way early game to get to people who maybe have looted better than you. You're also, like I said, you're going to get paid out on it once you kill them. So it's just it's a fun additional way. And all three of these contracts are just great ways to get money early game, get some map knowledge or some circle knowledge.
And cash is king, right, Risky?
And yeah, like I said, you're getting cash for all these things. What you can do with your cash is there's these things called buy stations. They're spread all over the map. They spawn at random places. It seems like they're pretty random. Like some will pop up in the same places, but definitely each round they're going to be in different places than the round before. And when you get there, you can get things like gas masks, which is going to give you some extra health when you're in the circle.
Yeah. It's like what we figured it was about 10 seconds or so that you got before you start taking damage.
It's somewhere in there, which is huge because that's another thing is this circle, it is fast and it does a ton of damage.
Don't play. You can't sit outside the circle and shoot people.
That's if you're familiar with PUBG and how long you can sit in the first circle. If you have the meds, it's literally until the next circle will hit. Like,
you have like 2 or 3 minutes.
You don't have that here. You have 10, 15 seconds with a gas mask max, I would say. Right. So, yikes, it's tough. So it's important to buy stuff like that. The gas mask, you can buy self-revive, which has come in super handy. If somebody puts you down but doesn't kill you all the way and you have self-revive, you can bring yourself back up.
Yeah, it's like having the gold shield in Apex.
In Apex, yeah, exactly. But what that does is it incentivizes everyone to immediately thirst you, and I think it is warranted in this game 100%. Like, you're not going to be called a dick for
But you don't feel any
people.
better when you get thirsted, do you?
No, and you never will.
No.
And you're always going to call out that guy and be like, why would you thirst me? It's like, you would have done the same exact thing. Because in this game, it's generally the smart play because of things like self-revive.
But you get a shot at redemption if you do get if you do get thirsted. So tell me about that, Risky.
So if you do die, you get thirsted, you get sent to the gulag or gulag. And when you get sent here, this is essentially a prison shower where you have to have a 1v1 against another player who has just died. You'll sit in a queue if nobody else is dead, and then you'll have to fight this guy. It'll give you a random weapon, which will range from like a shotgun to a revolver.
Yeah, I've lost every single time with the revolver.
That revolver is awful.
And then you also have a lethal and a tactical.
Right.
If you've played gunfight before, this is a lot like that. If you win, you get to redeploy. Cool.
With nothing.
With
but
nothing.
A pistol.
You're parachuting in with a pistol, exactly how you started the game, but you know where your friends are. If they have weapons down there for you, you can even land on your old body and pick up your weapons. Like, you have these options. The other cool thing, when you're in the gulag, though, is that there's people up around you. It's kind of, think of like a gladiator arena.
Right, yeah.
That's what it reminds me of most.
See, I would have gone with Fight Club.
Or Fight Club.
Sure.
So there's the two people fighting in the center, but then other dead people that are in a queue, like waiting to fight, are up above you, and they can throw rocks down at you. Rocks that will hit you and show up as damage markers, so you don't know if you're getting shot at. Yeah, they stun you a little bit. And it's just a whole weird dynamic. But if you win, you get to come in. Cool. Another way to come back from these buy stations for $4,500, which isn't a ton.
No.
You can revive your friends and bring them in, and you can do that the whole entire match.
And also, before you get too far away from the gulag, if you and your partner or squad mates die at the same time, then they'll be up on top and they can tell you where the other person is. So you have a little bit of an advantage.
Super helpful. And that's the weird thing is when you're playing against someone else, you have no idea if their teammates are up there calling the shots. So like if you feel like somebody got the beat on you and it felt unfair, it probably was unfair because somebody was telling them exactly where you were. But that's part of the fun of it. Like a lot of games, you don't even get that opportunity to come back. A lot of times you're just restarting.
Just set the controller down. Let me know when we play again.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's a great addition. I think it's a ton of fun. People that hate it the most are probably people that don't do well in it, and
people
that's my thing.
PUBG. Yep.
Right. Like my hatred for it comes from me losing in it. I think it's a great idea though.
Or having 35 people and 10 squads still left, or 12 squads still left at the final circle, and it's only like a 100 square yard area.
And that's the other complaint number 2 for me, and the last one would be that the buybacks kind of get ridiculous in this game. Like, for how small the circles are, people are still buying their friends back, because by the end of the game, if you're still in it that late, you have a ton of money.
Right.
And for how cheap it is to buy back a friend, it kind of makes it broken. We had a game last night where I was the last one in the circle. I'd killed everyone. Literally everyone was dead, and I was like, okay, well, we should have won.
Right.
I pull out my heartbeat sensor, and I was like, okay, this guy's right in front of me. Like, where is he? And then I look up. Isn't this dude parachuting down?
It's just chilling.
Dude,
just floating.
He pulled his chute as soon as he got redeployed and literally just hung up in the air waiting for everything to stop, and was, if I didn't think to, well, actually, I was playing with Waterloo, and he called it out. He's like, check your heartbeat sensor. Like, this guy's got to be somewhere. So I looked, and it was like, okay, he's in front of me. Like, what? Where is this dude? I look up, and he's just slowly parachuting down under me. So shot him down, and that was a win. But, like, I don't think that should be even possible at that point. Like, I don't know. I think they need to cut down, like, hey, there's 3 circles left. Let's shut down buybacks. Like, they do shut down the gulag, which is
They
good.
should shut off the kill streaks after a certain circle also.
They should, yeah.
I got my only win by using somebody popped a UAV, and then I popped a
precision airstrike.
Yeah, an airstrike, and these guys were just dead to rights.
So yeah, that's another thing that you can buy from the buy station, is you can buy literal airstrikes that you call down on people. The precision one is small; it's gonna hit like a small area, but if the circle is tiny, like it is at the end of games, super lethal. I think.
Is it friendly damage on that precision?
No,
because I called one in on us on accident one time, because like the pinging is kind of broken right now as far as trying to tag things. So we were at the top of this radio antenna, and so I was trying to call in an airstrike on these guys over on the hill, and it pinged on the metal bar right in front of me. So I called in an airstrike on myself.
Literally,
I got destroyed, and nobody else got hurt. So
yep. So that's good.
Yeah. Dan's not happy about it though, because he loved shooting him some moose in friendly fire.
Yeah, right. And there's also no vehicle friendly fire too. So we tried this out yesterday just to see if it worked. We drove a truck full speed at another player
trying to run him over
and try to hit him. But if you spam X, you'll just get right into the car. So you can
hilarious.
pick people up at full speed by smashing into them and making sure they're hitting X to get in the vehicle.
That's good to know.
There's some funky stuff, but it feels different with those systems. But it also feels really good because it's a Call of Duty game. The actual like gunfighting, the gunfights all feel like Call of Duty, and if you're into that, it's
sniping is so much fun.
And sniping is amazing.
Oh my gosh, I was playing whack-a-mole the other night.
I'll have to send you that clip. I tried trimming it last night, but it kept giving me an error, so I'm just gonna send the full 2-minute clip to you. It was like 20 seconds of Moose just knocking people out one after the other with headshots.
Then they get revived. Knock the guy, you get revived. Knock the guy.
It's so fun to watch. Overall, though, this is my battle royale now. Like I have no reason, as far as I'm concerned, to go back to any of the other ones.
You need to play Apex.
Yeah, do I?
Yeah, you said you would.
Okay, well.
That is true.
Yeah, but, you have Chocolate, who loves Apex still, and you like Apex. You guys need one more. Shit,
right, you, bruh.
Gonna be tough to go to
take on
else.
Apex.
This, I don't know. I thought it was weird when the 3s came out, and one of the things I was thinking was like, is this because Apex is doing so well that they're like, let's do 3s? They're doing it, but it seems weird.
I think they're just, like you said, throwing everything at the wall right now, and they're going to be changing this game. It's going to be a completely different game in a year's time, I would say.
100%.
That, or the fact that they're going to leave it open for having different types of events. So having a squad of 4, maybe 5. Changing it up. I suppose you've got to start somewhere, and if they've gone with 3, I don't think it's going to change to a 4 or a 2, because which game has done that? No Battle Royale has started off with however many players
and then moved.
Well, and then exactly, So maybe limited time events of a 4 or a 2.
Well,
but
if they're going to 200, it would only make sense to make it squads of 4.
wait, if they go that high, yeah,
which is
But
something
that's
they talked about.
massive number.
Their most
Right.
recent a blog that they put out said that they've been playtesting 4s, 5s, and 9s.
9s? Who has 8
Nines.
friends to play with?
Wow.
I mean, I don't.
Because that's
Friends
one thing.
aside, can you imagine
Yeah.
having to take down 9 people, even when you have like 8 other people on your team? Like knowing there's 9 people aiming, like what?
What?
I don't know how
I
that's
think
gonna
more.
work.
Yeah, I got to say
Can you imagine trying to herd?
one gripe I have
Yeah, exactly.
with Warzone. It's a terrible time playing solo.
I would not do it.
It's not fun at all. I play other games instead.
It's so with we kind of talked about it. There is a pinging system. It is nowhere near Apex. I'll give Apex their props there.
Not polished at
Yeah.
all, is it?
It misses where you want to hit if you're around anything. Even if you're trying to ping through like a window, it's probably just going to ping the window in front of you.
Right.
So you're going to be telling your teammates there's an enemy on top of you. There's probably not. It's on the D-pad, which is weird.
You got to
and
take your thumb off where you're running.
right. But it's kind of, the trade-off there. Like the weird thing in Apex for me is having to hit a D-pad button and then another button to throw a grenade. I think is awful.
Yeah.
But I also think that having to hit the D-pad to ping stuff is awful. So it's like I just kind of need some more buttons. I love being able to hit RB and throw a grenade. Like it
Right.
makes the most sense because I was brought up on Call of Duty. Having to hit a button to cycle through grenades and then throw it. Because I think, doesn't Division do the same thing? Where you have to
Yeah, you gotta hit
click the
right.
grenade and then throw it?
Exactly.
So it's
Chocolate?
Just don't find it. I have no idea. I still haven't found where the grenade is.
It's
He's
the
still
one on the other
searching
side
for
of
it.
the heal button.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not a great pinging system, and that's why playing Apex solo is fun.
Right. That's
and
why
easy
yeah, exactly. That's why it
because of
makes
how good the
Apex
pinging
fun.
system is.
Exactly.
If we get there someday with Warzone, it might be more fun. It might turn that into an easier experience, but there's just so many more mechanics, like with the money and needing to like pool money to buy people back. And if you have selfish people on your team, they're not going to want to buy you back anyways. They're going to want to buy
Right. All
a
their
gun
good
crate
stuff.
for themselves or like self-revive for themselves. So it's kind of it's not great solo. I agree.
The money, I like the idea of the money system. What irks me big time, I think did you jump into the stream? I streamed some of this game, and it's the fact that you can't pool your money
Yes, you
to
can.
bring someone back. Well, no, not in terms of automatically.
You just
So
drop
for-
it and then they pick it up.
Yeah, see, I don't like. It would be nicer.
So chocolate, how would
personally.
I loan you money? I would have to physically give it to you, correct?
No, you would pool your money as you're squadding, as you're going through and
No,
playing.
say
you've got a man
you
down.
were going to the store to buy a 12-pack and I needed to give you $10. How would I do that? Take it out of my pocket and hand
We're
it
not
to you,
talking
right?
about.
I would set it on the ground and make
Yeah.
you pick it up.
Yeah, like it's a drug deal in Central Park.
Oh, you son of a. Anyway, I would prefer if you squad pooled the money.
Oh, so it
so
all just
as-
went into one pot instead of
It
each
went into one
individual
pot, yeah.
carrying. I got you.
Precisely. Yes, there are trade-offs where then you have the selfish person that spends all the money getting their crate, but they're doing that anyway automatically. But I think especially if someone goes down, it's a lot easier than dropping your cash there and then for someone to pick up, or waiting and going, "Hello, where's the cash?"
Yeah.
I
Or
need to
you
drop it."
could, like, if everybody's going to the buy station, you could just deposit your cash into it, and then the last person have the amount.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Maybe something like that.
Which I mean, that's essentially what we do now, though. Is
Right.
that
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
just
like,
dump it right in front of it.
I'll literally set my cash in front of the buy station and be like,
Yeah.
last person there, buy the thing.
Exactly.
That's okay with friends. I've been playing with randos, and it is so difficult. As you were saying, playing with
Yeah, it's not
two
fun.
other people that you're not talking to is.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that
So
you got to
hard
win
and
with
difficult.
randos, Bear.
Oh, I'm shocked. The circle actually wanted to help me. Everyone else was inside this building, and we decided to nip out. Who knows why? And we won.
So you guys
I
took
was-
your shirts off?
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Snip
may
out.
have been
I don't understand your language, dude.
nipped out. Oh yeah, okay. Oh god.
The counterpoint I'll make to the pooling thing is just that money is so powerful
Yeah.
in this game that it can't be that easy to manage it. Like if the money's pooled, you can send one dude to go do anything. If he's just off by himself, he can
yeah.
buy you back quick.
Kind of
Or
like
he-
Apex when you grab somebody's
Banner, and the
and
other
then the
guy
other
can be
guy
running
can run.
to
Exactly.
no, and like I said, that's where there's a slight trade-off. Playing with friends obviously makes the whole thing a lot easier. There's a lot more
1,000%.
communication.
Yeah.
And that, I suppose, as I was playing, that is my only whinge, which is tiny and pathetic. Well, and the crappy ping system.
Hey, I only got one win. I think Risky's under 5 still, right?
I'm at 7 now.
Oh, you
but,
dick.
So,
but yeah, I think Shopa's at 9. He just seems to be playing with everyone all the time. So
Yeah. Oh, so that's who I need to play with? I got you.
yeah.
yeah, if you're looking for wins, that's what it.
I'm just
seems to
looking
be.
for people to play with.
No, if you want the wins, go to Shopa. He's the
But
king
you
so
gotta
far.
listen to his incessant chewing.
Yeah, he doesn't stop eating. So
He
that
has snacks all the time when he games.
he's when you think of a gamer, well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what you're looking at.
this is why he's getting the wins.
You know, the,
he's
the
eating,
World
he's
of
keeping
Warcraft
himself.
episode of South Park.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Love
honing
you,
his
Shopa.
craft. Yeah. I don't know. Best battle royale for my buck at the moment, and it just came out. It's only going to get better, in my opinion, unless they make some weird changes.
Right.
Like make it 9s only or something.
Or they make
Nice.
some
Oh,
sort of
God.
dumb, cash system that you have to pay to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's one thing we didn't mention is that it's a free-to-play game. It's a
Absolutely.
standalone game.
And
If
it's
you own
cross-platform.
cross-platform, across anything, it's or across everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
and
doing
cross-play.
so many things right. Like the only thing you're spending money on is microtransactions for cosmetic items, which
And Battle Pass.
which there's tons of them, and Battle Pass if you want it. Like
But yeah, it's like any of them. You buy one Battle Pass, and if you commit enough to the game, you'll get enough currency to buy the next season's Battle Pass.
Yeah.
You
Right.
just got to not buy the shiny new costume.
I don't know if Activision. No, I know that Activision does a lot of things wrong. Making this a free-to-play standalone thing as an option if you
Right.
don't own Modern Warfare is the smartest thing they could have done. And I think this isn't going to be like Blackout, where when the next Call of Duty comes out, this is going to disappear.
Right. This is going
This
to
will
be
be
the
its
Battle
own
Royale
thing.
for Call of Duty, I think.
Right. Black Ops 4 or 5 is going to come out. I don't think you see like a Blackout 2
Right.
mode.
I don't
I
think
think
so either.
this is what you have.
Sorry,
and
Treyarch, isn't that who did
yeah,
Blackout?
Treyarch's them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Chocolate said, I think there's a lot of opportunities for custom modes or like limited time events.
Yeah, no doubt.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, because they've got
and
all
I think
the heroes too, just like Apex does. So they can put
as far as-
backstories behind it, and this is the Domino event. This is the I can't even remember the people's names anymore.
I have no idea. I was thinking maybe Treyarch go more zombies.
I mean, that's always been their thing. They started
Yeah.
that, so
Yeah.
they might have a
Yeah.
huge zombies campaign.
Exactly. Go back to what they're
Core.
known for.
Yeah.
It possibly could happen. It all depends. I suppose it all depends what happens at the end of the year or next year when they decide.
Or whenever
do we-
the world goes back to normal and supply chain
Well-
works again, and
Yeah, when they get it back into meetings.
right.
But yeah, we'll see. I have enjoyed it. I didn't like it at first, but yeah, it's grown on me.
And like for you, Chocolate, try to play it with friends. I know
Right.
you're on at a different time than most of us in the
Yeah.
US, which kind of sucks, but
Dude, just let me know. I will schedule recreational time anytime in the afternoon. I just
you
need
go.
to know when to do it.
We'll talk in Discord. We'll
All
find
right, buddy.
something.
there you go. Overall, 2 thumbs up for me.
You betcha.
Loving it so far. All right. Anybody else have any games they want to talk about? That was a long-winded Warzone section, but you guys knew that was coming.
We're about an hour and 10 in so far, so
Well, if there was 1 week for me to do my talking, it was when a new season of Destiny was coming out and a new Call of Duty Battle Royale. So
only
next
thing
week,
that could have
I'll be
made
much
it any
quieter.
better is if Sea of Thieves did a whole complete new overhaul.
Yeah, with helicopters, and battle royales.
That's hilarious.
All right, so before I touch on Game Pass real quick, we do have a Halo 5 video that's up on YouTube, and I meant to mention it at the top of the show, but Chocolate,
Someone
what is this?
Didn't write it in.
Yes.
So as of tomorrow, as you're listening to this, so Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, the clips of tricks and awful deaths is going to be live on YouTube for you to enjoy, laugh, and call me all sorts of names.
Is this starring you and our pal Maldo?
It is indeed.
Nice.
We had a Halo night one night, and there are some epic deaths, some epic kills. I get, oh God, I can't even think of the word now. I literally get murdered. Someone turns me upside down on my head and just smashes my head into the floor.
You
Like
got
an
power
assassination?
bombed, Bear.
Assassination, thank God.
I didn't know
thank
they
you.
had assassinations in Halo.
Yeah,
That's
I
fun.
didn't know
I
power
got-
bomb was a finisher.
It is. You just have to
amazing.
unlock it with the special buttons. But yeah, so go down, see, laugh, enjoy, cry, and see how bad I am.
There you go. Links for the YouTube are in the show notes.
Yes.
All right, before we get into the news, Game Pass Roulette that's going on right now is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It's out now. The people I've talked to that have been playing it say it looks amazing, plays amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe, I guess after the last patch, it kind of maybe messed something up.
Yeah, there was a day one
Tiny
patch
little
that
bit.
made it a little bit glitchy, I think, but they're working on
Yeah,
fixing it.
Okay, so
A little bit laggy through some of the levels as you're going through.
That's
Alright,
not
which
good
is-
for a platformer.
not at all.
No, it's not game breaking, but it is highly annoying. So yeah, watch out for
Yeah,
that.
they're aware of it. I'm sure that'll be probably patched out in the next few days, if I had to guess. But looks good, plays good once it's fixed. And that's our Game Pass Roulette game. If you have any feedback for it, like I said, I know a bunch of people are already playing it. Throw it in the Game Pass Roulette section in Discord. Links for the Discord are in the show notes.
Yeah, we got 3 weeks left, and I think lots of people have time on their hands in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So
Yep, a lot of
no
people
excuses.
quarantined.
This is
so-
a great game.
Just
Get
no,
after it.
no gaming for me though. The wife's here. Damn.
Well, she doesn't know you play games, Bear.
No, I
It's been
tried.
a secret for years.
I know.
Jesus, dude.
We're gonna murder each other. I swear.
Well, you
picked
heard it
her.
here, folks. You heard it here
Yeah,
first, folks.
might want to cut that out of the show, Risky.
Nope, leaving that one in for posterity's sake, obviously.
The new McMillions HBO special will be about how Chocolate killed his wife because she wouldn't let him play video games.
Yeah. Oh God.
You want us to move on, Chocolate?
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get into some news.
Nice one, Bear. Well, luckily for us, with the beginning of the show going a little long, there was a lot of bad news, so I kind of skimmed
Perfect.
over all that.
The people don't have
And-
enough of that in their life.
Exactly.
Let's go.
But there are some other good news. This one that I'm starting out with is it's a little perplexing, but I have good feelings about it. So 2K has just signed a multi-year deal with the NFL. So right now, it's a deal for non-simulated football game experiences. So
NFL Blitz.
no.
Duh.
It can't be any sort of game like that, I don't believe, because I believe that's considered a sim, anything that you're actually playing football. So what they have in the works, it says, is multiple games centered on fun social experiences.
Woof.
Right. It sounds like mobile right now, but this is what gives me hope. EA actually came out with a statement that said, just so you guys know, we have exclusive rights to any sim playing NFL game, blah, blah, blah. But the EA deal is rumored to expire at the end of next year. So unless they throw a crap ton of money
Good save.
at the NFL, I think that we may have a 2K22 NFL game. I can't wait, dude. I hope they just go straight back to what they had because it was so awesome.
That's a
The
long
Sega-
ways
wasn't
off.
Wasn't it a Sega game? 2K? Yeah, Sega Dreamcast is when the first
Wow.
2K sports games came out.
I've only ever been familiar with Madden for football. Like I
Yeah.
played the 2K baseball games when they were still around.
Okay.
But
Yeah, they made the 2K sports games were so awesome, and EA really hated them. This is, I think, where the exclusives started because 2K would come in and undercut them and sell their games for like $35. And it's like, why would I buy Madden for 60 when I can buy NFL 2K for 35?
Is that kind of what happens with PES and FIFA? Isn't PES always a little cheaper?
PES is, but not by much. I don't think it's that much. They've the way
just enough to say, hey,
because
we're
the quality
cheaper.
of the game has come up.
Well, yeah, the quality of the games come up. FIFA always, as FIFA does, throws the money at all the teams.
Right.
And then this is where PES turns around and goes, okay, we'll pick, for instance, this team, this team, this team, and they have exclusive deals with the team. I think it was this year the only team that was in both. Hang on, there was a team, Juventus, that was in PES, but unfortunately they bought the whole rights to Juventus and the name. So
it couldn't
FIFA, FIFA didn't have it. They had to name them something else.
How
which was
strange.
It really irks
And then
me.
did they have to put different player plates and stuff on them too, so that because they owned all the rights to all the players too?
I think some. I mean, I never played with FIFA's Juventus team, so I can't think if they had to change the names. But it just irks me because I think if you buy license for the football teams, you buy license for the football
league, right?
Yeah, not this exclusive. Or if you're going to do exclusive deals like that, fine. But don't then, as you've bought all the other companies bought all the rights for all the players or the team names.
Right.
Don't then chop and chop. But I suppose that's me just being a entitled gamer going, I want my full team with my full names.
No, I think that makes sense because, imagine if you were a huge Juventus supporter and you love FIFA, and then this year,
right?
you don't get to be your team at all.
Or you painstakingly spend the time to create the whole team and create the logo.
Custom players.
So I think, God. I remember
or you do what I did in college football and download the rosters about a week into it.
Well, I was going to say, I remember in PES, back in the 2000s, early 2000s, you had to buy a memory card for PES and put it into your PlayStation 2, and then that would give you all the real names, all the real kits. Some poor guy was there creating everything for you as you spent £20 on a memory card. Yeah.
Yeah, but then the internet came, Bear, and you could literally just download it from random skeptical users.
You could.
I had all the player names in.
You could, but as Chocolate would always do, he pays the money.
Yeah, Chocolate loves paying that money. So are you going to start wiping with money now, Bear?
I can do. I mean, I found a note that's big enough to cover my backside, so I might as well.
There you go. It's probably cheaper than toilet paper at this point.
It could be.
So, all right, I guess we're done with that story. Horizon Zero Dawn's coming to PC in the summertime. So, anybody that doesn't have a PlayStation and is an avid PC gamer, I say keep your eyes on this one and pick it up when it drops.
Yep.
It's going to be the complete edition, so it's going to include all the DLC plus some other cosmetic packs and weapons. It will have ultra wide monitor support, so it's going to look really sweet. And they have a Steam page up for it right now, but you can't pre-order it just yet. So
that's awesome. That's probably one of my favorite games.
One of the games
this
of the
past
last
generation.
decade, right?
Yeah, definitely.
No doubt. Just a few updates now. I'm just gonna glance on the bad news real quick. Just some coronavirus updates. E3 was canceled last week. I think we all saw that coming.
Yeah, it was slow. I think we knew that was happening last week when everybody was just not going to it. It was kind of like nobody's going to be left. What is the point? And I guess they realized that as well. So
right. EGX has been postponed to the summertime, which will most likely be all in all canceled, I would say.
Yeah, I think.
And then, like we said earlier, Xbox Live was out for a few hours yesterday. So that's, other than that, everything's canceled. Everything's closed. Everything's pushed back. Everything's delayed. So there's your coronavirus updates. Fun stuff, right, guys?
Yeah.
nope, not at all.
But, if you do find a store open, you could go buy one of these this summer. So, Lego Mario. Did you guys see any of the videos or any of this last week?
Yeah,
I did not.
You didn't? Okay.
No.
So think of it as an IRL Mario Maker set.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So you set up your courses with special blocks and you use the special Mario character, and when he jumps on certain things, they react. Like if he jumps on lava, then he'll do the being burned. Yeah, exactly. If he goes next to Yoshi, they do like a friendly greeting. If he goes next to bad guys, then he does something different. But it kind of looked like, you guys remember the board game Mousetrap back in the day?
yes,
Definitely.
It gave me those kind of feelings where you just set up obstacle courses, and then Mario kind of you manually have to do it with your hand, have him run through the course. But there's supposed to be, I don't know, 5 or 6 different packs that you can mix and match together. And they said look for it this summer, as well as more information on all the packs and reveals. So we may find out some of that tomorrow, huh, Risky? I didn't put this in the notes, but there is a Nintendo Direct. If you're hearing this on Tuesday, it's either already happened or it's sometime this morning. Correct? I didn't get the time on it.
It's one of their Indie World ones, so it'll be all indie stuff, which is a lot of times a lot of the best stuff on the Switch. So definitely tune into that.
Yeah, and there's been rumors of having 2 directs this month, so because we're due for a
something big here,
a full direct. We haven't had one of those in 9 months, something like that.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. I'll get the highlights for it if you guys missed it, and cover it here in news next week. You guys interested in the Mario Lego set? I know, Risky, you haven't seen much about it, but
I mean, it sounds cool. It sounds like it's definitely geared towards a younger demographic.
Right. Yeah, I kind of wish that they would do the classic sets. You know what I mean? Let you build Koopa's ship. Let you build the castle. Stuff like that. You know what I mean?
That's way more up my alley.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'll spend $500 on a 1,500 piece Koopa ship.
Oh well,
with
you've
all
got
the
time to do it.
cannons and yeah. Well,
you got workers to help you build it. Well, try to.
No, I'm teaching children, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I'll make it during creative time. All right, kids, we're gonna build this Lego ship,
and then it'll warrant the purchase. So
exactly,
it's fine.
It's learning. That's a good idea. I'm gonna go buy some Legos.
Yes, love it.
All right, up next, due to the cancellation of E3, we got some news last week. So Warner Brothers Games planned on unveiling 3 games at E3. The first one will be a soft reboot of the Arkham series for Batman.
I don't even know what that means.
I think they're just redoing it. Can you guys hear that car alarm? I'm really sorry.
I thought they were beeping at you.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of the road. Go around.
Yeah. God damn it.
Oh, let's see, where was I? So yeah, the first one is going to be a soft reboot. So maybe it's just going to be kind of like an all-in-one Arkham. They're kind of like they did with New Light or whatever with Destiny. How they sprinkled in some of Destiny 1 with the missions in Destiny 2, and so I kind of have a feeling like that. But nobody really has any information on it at this point. The other thing that they were going to reveal, which isn't a secret, is the new Harry Potter RPG.
There
was a video of it leaked last year, but I think it's been removed from the internet since then.
Yeah, I think Warner Brothers hopped right on that and made sure it was expunged off the face of the earth.
And then the third game is going to be a new title from Rocksteady. They're the guys that made all the Arkham games, and it basically is going to take over the Arkham series. So I think we're getting 2 Batman games sometime this year or next year.
You do think they'll stick with Batman? You don't think they'll try out
What, Robin?
Super?
You've got mail.
Like somebody else from DC.
DC Universe. Hopefully not Superman,
I think it would be super tough to make a good Superman game.
He's just OP.
Because he's so powerful. It would be a real boring game if everybody just had kryptonite guns shooting at you. Okay.
And the man can literally change the rotation of the Earth.
Yeah.
So how do you stop that?
Justice League?
Yes, that's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of everybody.
Yeah, or Suicide Squad, because aren't they doing another one?
They're remaking that movie? Is that what they... Or I'm not sure. I know they're working on it again, but I don't think Will Smith is involved.
It could be interesting.
So yeah, they haven't announced it yet, but I would say they're going to have some sort of digital reveal, kind of like
100%.
Xbox and Ubisoft and everybody else has announced that they're going to be doing.
Yep.
So let's see, what else do I got here? You got any Series X updates for me, Risky?
Yeah. So this happened this morning, actually. Xbox, well, Phil Spencer in particular, revealed the full specs for the Series X.
Right. And there have been, 2 or 3 different people that have had their hands on it for the last month or so?
Yeah, for sure. There's a bunch of people, not a bunch. I know Digital Foundry is a big one.
Evan Davis or something like
he's
that.
from like news. He's from some tech.
He's a big wig, or they wouldn't
something
give him one,
Tech
right?
USA.
Yeah.
But it was essentially just the tech specs for the actual system, which is huge because the thing's not coming out in so long, but just letting everyone know exactly how powerful it is and like what they're getting themselves into. This early on it feels kind of unheard of, especially when you look at PlayStation 5, who they're supposed to be releasing around the same time. And we have a logo from them.
They worked hard on that logo.
Yeah, that's the other thing is the logo. Well, you deleted a number and replaced it with a
4 off and put a 5 on.
So having the full spec sheet here is great. I'll rattle off some stats. Even to me, who kind of understands a little bit of this stuff, it's still pretty foreign.
I was going to say, try to stay awake.
Yeah, good luck, everybody. The CPU is an 8-core, 3.8 gigahertz custom Zen 2 CPU. The GPU is going to be able to output 12 teraflops. I know everybody was super into teraflops when the One X was coming out.
How big is your flop?
The One X flop was 6, so this is 12.
This is like the same as like a 2080 card, right?
This I actually don't. I would assume it's got to be up there.
Yeah,
2070, 2080.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and it can do ray tracing too, which is kind of what the 20 series is all about. So
exactly.
2070 or 2080. Well, that's the thing.
$500,
Not knowing the price,
$500 to $600.
What?
I'm thinking $500 to $600.
Yeah, and I don't think it comes out lower than 500, and I sure as hell don't think it comes out over 600.
Yeah.
So it'll be somewhere in there for sure. So yeah, twice as powerful with that's just the GPU. As far as total processing power goes, 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One. Oh, well, right, yes. 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One and twice as powerful as the Xbox One X.
Yes.
That makes more sense. So, which is, yeah, it's insane because when I originally got the One X, I had a 4K TV. I put Assassin's Creed, not Odyssey, the other one. Origin.
Yeah.
I put that in. I looked up at that 4K TV, and I swear to God, it's the best looking game I've ever seen.
Right? Yeah.
At that point, you were kind of like,
Doesn't get any better than this.
Does it? Like, yeah. Can this look better? And twice as powerful as that? I don't know. What does that mean? Like, we're gonna start talking about photorealism in games, and everything's gonna get really weird.
And it's just, I think it's gonna speed up your loading times, your waiting times.
Well, I was going to say, have you seen the videos of the waiting time side by side comparison of State of Decay 2?
Yeah, and it's instantaneous.
It's almost instant, right? Yeah.
But it is so kind of light and day, and then it made me realise how slow that game loads on your Xbox. It is terrible. It's like 45 seconds, almost a minute.
GTA times.
To load up on your One X.
And that's like the biggest thing for me with the One X at this point is not that it graphically, not that it can't do what I want it to do in that respect.
Just frame rates.
Well, yeah, frame rates is another thing, but even like my input, like, or the UI is like laggy and slow for me a lot of times. And I know, like, I have an 8 terabyte hard drive hooked up to it that's pretty much full of games, and I have a solid state drive also hooked up to it. So, like, obviously it's trying to read and it's trying to do all these different things. So I understand it kind of getting bogged down, but at a point, if sometimes it's just like, why are we going so slow here? I clicked LB to go to a different page like 3 seconds ago and we're still not there. It gets that bad sometimes, and I don't know if that's just my box kind of thing or what, but it's getting slow. And this thing,
Mine's
not
getting
even
louder. Is yours getting louder? I couldn't hear it before, and now I can definitely hear it when it's trying to do stuff.
So yeah, and I don't remember if it's always done it, but during certain times or certain times in game, it definitely does kind of get noisier than I remember, at least. But I'm also usually playing with headphones, so I don't notice it exactly. So yeah, the thing's gonna be stupid powerful. It sounds like. As far as Chocolate, you mentioned speed. It's gonna have a solid state drive in it. It's gonna be a terabyte, and this specific drive is meant to be able to play the games faster, stop and start them faster. You can have multiple games in a paused state.
Yeah, I think they showed 5, didn't they?
So, okay, yeah, so 5. You could
games,
be in the middle of playing Minecraft, say, and then also playing Forza, and if you pause it and switch to another game, when you go back to that, it'll still be there, and you can do that with multiple games. But this is where I'm also wondering, like with a PC, it's like, yeah, I can have multiple windows open, I can be doing all these things, but if I'm doing all these things, my CPU is getting, it's struggling.
Right.
Like the GPU starts to struggle. So it's like, even though you can do those things, I'm not positive that that's going to be the best idea for you. Like,
Right.
I would probably X out of those. However you're going to do it, if it's probably going to be start and then go down to quit like it is now.
Yeah.
Or people are going to be like, my Xbox is broken. And it's like, well, you have the same game running 65 times here. So,
Right. You're kind of going to have to weigh how you handle that. I can't think of too many situations where I care to be leaving a game suspended, like in a whatever state it's in.
You're going to have to be more vigilant to close down games.
Right.
Or potentially, what they're showing us is it's not going to put that much pressure on the GPU because didn't they mention that teraflops? They explained what the teraflops actually were, didn't they? And it's the GPU, something else, something else, and something else, all working together, and that's what teraflops mean.
Yeah, it's the 52 CUs at 1.825 gigahertz custom RDNA 2 GPU. It's like I could do this all day. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
The GPU.
The GPU. The GPU. It's a good GPU. Yeah, like I said, though, it's going to have a terabyte solid state inside of it, so everything's going to be quick, and it's coming with a terabyte. Cool. The one not so cool thing is we are going to have essentially memory cards, if you remember those from the PlayStation 1 and 2 days.
Proprietary memory cards.
Yeah, not only just a memory card, but ones that you can only buy from Microsoft to start, at least. Who knows if they... I don't know why they would ever let anyone else make them if they don't need to. But yeah, so your Series X games specifically are going to have to go on these, from what I'm hearing. Anything that, like, I can pull over my hard drive and plug it in through USB, because it's obviously still going to have USB 3 ports. So I can plug it in there, and I can play all my old games from those storage devices. But anything going forward sounds like it's going to need to be stored on these. And that's kind of a scary thing, because if you look at like a current game right now, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare is 120 something gigs right now.
Yeah, even if you just want to play the free to play, you have to download the whole game.
Yeah, and that's a tenth, more than a tenth of the solid. Like, you're gonna have
the beginning
like
of a terabyte
8 games
hard
on here.
Drive. Yeah.
So
whoever thought we'd use that much memory?
The other thing, and I was talking to you guys about it earlier, is I think compression is going to need to be a thing. Like, developers are going to have to get better at compressing their stuff, because if your game is too big, some people are just going to choose not to download it because it's going to take up too much space. And if you have,
especially if you have a data cap.
I would say if you have data caps too, like, you can't be just swapping things around. And if you don't even have the option to buy expandable storage that's bigger than the 1 terabyte that they're going to offer, like,
But you can transfer.
Did it have
them,
multiple slots or just one slot for that proprietary memory card?
I think it's just the one slot in the back.
Is it? Yeah, I'm sure, as technology evolves and keeps growing, we'll have a 10 terabyte card that'll plug in there.
At what cost, though? Is
right,
what,
yeah.
Really what we need to figure out.
$500.
because this 500 gigabyte SSD that I have right now is like $100 still, and that's for 500 gigabytes.
Right. Yeah, I got a 1 terabyte one.
So it is what it is. It is going to speed everything up. It's going to make the whole suspending games thing possible. Yeah, I don't know. As far as memory goes, 16 gigabytes of GDDR6, which is a step up in generation, at least from the Xbox One X. So that's just going to be another way to speed things up. And I think the one thing that most people can understand when I say it is that the target it's going to be shooting for, the performance target, is 4K at 60 frames per second.
Right.
But then also with the possibility of going up to 120 frames per second. Currently, right now, if you have
120 frames per second,
what?
Can our eye even see that fast?
I don't know. I can tell you that when I'm playing a 60 frames game and it goes up to like 140, that it does feel smoother. So I don't know how much I'm seeing, but it's definitely something. Sure. I think you can tell.
Okay.
How much further than that, though, than 120?
Right. It's kind of like 4K, 8K.
Right. It's like eventually is the cost going to outweigh what you're actually getting out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're going to target 4K 60 frames for everything going forward, obviously, with up to 120. If you have an Xbox One X right now, it can do 4K 60. Games like Gears of War have done it. But if you're someone that had maybe a 144 hertz monitor, you weren't getting anything out of that 144 hertz because it only went up to 60 frames per second. And there's a correlation between the two. Like I have 60 hertz monitors, which means I can see 60 frames per second.
Okay.
It doesn't go much more than that. So this kind of just opens that up. If you did buy a more expensive, bigger monitor, I guess.
Right.
Either way, I don't know. This thing, just going off the teraflops, man, twice as powerful than the One X, which has produced some of the best looking stuff I've ever seen. So
right. It's gonna slap, like the kids say these days, right?
It's gonna slap.
The
It's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
See, I know what lit is.
Lit AF. Oh, the new word is slaps, Bear.
Slaps, right?
Like this one
Slaps.
slaps.
Like Drake says he got more slaps than the Beatles.
Oh,
Jesus.
I guess I hadn't heard it. I think I just hear Shopa yelling slap. Like this thing slaps.
He's one of the kids.
Oh, you think he spends most of his days eating Doritos and watching TikTok?
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Which I haven't even downloaded to see what it is, but he does send me links for TikToks a lot for different things. So
it's a thing that the kids are doing.
Slapping, man.
That's right. Make sure you slap.
Groovy.
And I didn't want to leave our PlayStation friends out in the cold this week, so I got one little story for you. Resident Evil 3 Raccoon City. It's a remake, correct?
Yep.
The demo is going to be out this week on all platforms. Xbox gets it 1 hour early.
1 hour?
Which is weird.
Yes.
Yeah. It comes to Xbox at like 12 o'clock Pacific,
slaps.
and then everybody else gets it at 1 p.m. It's like, okay.
Okay.
So, the game is just a slice into the actual remake of the game, so it's just going to be a portion of you trying to escape as, what's her name, Jill?
Yeah, Jill Valentine.
Jill Valentine. So, and then also there's going to be an open beta for RE Resistance, which is the new co-op PvP game, which is 4v1.
Yep.
It's going to be, let's see, it's an asymmetrical co-op, like I just said. There's going to be a mastermind, and he controls the monsters, can set traps, things like that, and then it's up to the other 4 players to work as a team to escape and defeat the monsters.
Yeah, very much like Dead by Daylight.
Yep.
Exactly. So another one of those horror survival PvP games. It's an open beta, so that, like I said, will be available on the 27th. And I believe that is it for the news this week, boys.
All right. Chocolate, we got anything coming out this week?
We have games, and more games.
Love it.
Time, too.
I'm going to fire through these really quick. So, on the 17th of March, you have Overpass, and that's on the Xbox, PlayStation 4 and the Switch. We also have Kingdom Hearts all-in-one package, and that's coming out on the PS4. We have RIB Baseball, and that's
RBI.
on the RBI. Yep.
RIB, what?
That's half. I'm tired. Leave me alone.
That's a cricket stat there.
So yeah, RBI Baseball. No, I messed that up again,
Yeah,
didn't I?
you're good.
I'm good.
Runs
right.
batted in.
So that's on the PlayStation, PC, Switch, and Xbox. On the 17th as well, we have La Mulana 1 and 2. I already gave my review of this earlier in the show, so yeah,
Go pick that
let's
one
move.
up, huh?
Yeah,
Pick up at your own discretion.
exactly. For you Nintendo fans, finally, Animal Crossing New Horizons is out on the 20th of March.
Pass.
Okay. Doom Eternal, 20th of March on the Xbox,
Yeah, buddy.
PlayStation, Switch, and PC. Excited?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It's the first
Gonna
game
be
I've been
good.
looking forward to this year.
Oh, you had the show out last week though.
Shout out.
Doom 64 is out on the 20th of March, and that's for the Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And then I've just added this one in. Half-Life Alyx is out on the 23rd of March, and it's on the PC and I guess the Oculus. I couldn't quite understand what the acronym was on the site.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Oculus.
You can definitely play it on Oculus, and I think you can play it on Vive.
Can you play it on PlayStation VR?
Nope.
No. Got it.
No.
So it's because it's a Valve thing, right?
Yep.
Got it.
Something like that. We have a new game added to Game Pass. I'm going to butcher this name, so let's go with it. It's going to be Pinku. Yeah, no idea.
Pikuniku.
Pikuniku.
Yeah, Pikuniku.
Brilliant. Pikuniku. And then finally, Games with Gold. You have your new Games with Gold. And there is Shantae, and that's out. And also Sonic Generation. Bear in mind, you can still pick out Batman the Enemy Within, and that's until the 31st of March.
Do it.
Gotta.
Yeah, those are good. I like Enemy Within. It's good. All right. Whew,
Those
we
were
did it.
games.
We did all the games. We did all the talking about the games, and good work, everybody. And we're all still here and healthy for now.
And under 2 hours.
And under 2 hours. And to spare you guys just a little bit more time, when I plug the show up, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to tell you that you can use our streamer link to get to everywhere. You can use it to get to the Discord. You can use it to get to Patreon, the podcast, obviously. Does that go anywhere else, Bear? Instagram and Twitter.
Instagram, Twitter,
Got our
Patreon.
Twitch feed on there.
Yeah, if you want to watch us on, or watch me, I should say,
That'd be an
on
easy way
Twitch.
for people to get in and give us their Twitch Prime to get into our
Oh.
drawing for
Definitely, yeah. If you want that extra two draws,
extra entry. Yeah.
get straight in there. Our merch store, Facebook, everything, anything to do with Cross Atlantic Gaming, we're on that Streamer Links, and it is streamerlinks.com/CAG podcast.
Easy enough.
Easy peasy, and that saves me a whole bunch of talking.
Maybe you could link our personal social stuff there too, so that people wanted to get a hold of us, they could just click that link and then click our Twitter or Insta, whatever.
I will do that straight away.
You're
Boom.
the best, Bear.
But if you want to find me right now and you're not sure how to get there, I'm at Risky the Kid everywhere. Chocolate, how about you?
I'm at Chocolate Bear everywhere.
And Moose.
Moosenstein 8314 everywhere.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this week's episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming. We'll catch you guys next week for an all-new episode. Goodbye.
This episode slaps.
Later.
What did the baby find at the end of the rainbow?
Pot of gold.
Ah, potty of gold. God damn it.
Oh,
What?
a potty of gold. Wow, potty humor, huh, Bear?
I like it.
Well, there's no toilet roll around, so I might as well start the potty humour.
All right, how do you know if a leprechaun likes your joke?
He'll laugh.
He's doubling over with laughter.
Oh. Oh, damn it. Why should... Oh, no, we've done that one.
This furniture store keeps calling. All I wanted was one nightstand.
Oh,
You already said that one.
I did?
Somebody did.
I
it
blame
wasn't
Bear.
me. Wasn't me.
It's the worst segment we've ever done.
Yes, it is. Most definitely. What's Irish and stays out all night?
I don't know.
My dad.
This is great. Patty O Furniture.
Oh, gee.